Hi guys, and welcome to week 10. So this week we're going to finish up child health and safety, so module 5 part 2. We're really going to be focused on nutrition this week and food. So how are you using nutrition and incorporating it into your curriculum, and how are you going about serving food to young children? So we will talk about CACFP. However, not every program uses the food program, so just be mindful of that there's some information around that. If not, your program should be following at least USDA guidelines. So keep that in mind when we're going through some of the work, that not everything that we're talking about may directly apply to your program if you do not follow CACFP. Additionally, we're going to talk about mental health and physical well-being of young children, so we're going to dive into child abuse and neglect. It's really important for you to understand and note the signs of abuse and neglect, but also to note that neglect, it can be kind of tricky because it may not always be intentional. So just keep that in mind. You should also understand what a mandated reporter is and who a mandated reporter is. And just for clarification, anybody working in an early childhood setting is a mandated reporter. So pay attention to that. I talk about it in the screencast this week, but I'm sure most of you who are currently working in programs know what that is and have been through some form of training on it. Additionally, I think this week what you really need to think about is how and what resources and how you would go about getting resources to support families, because again, it goes back to that notion that sometimes what we might think of as being neglectful isn't really intention in being on an intentional part on the part of the family. Sorry, I'm not being very clear right now, but there's always resources and a ton of resources out there to support. And you're actually going to make a family resource guide when we get to next module, which is module 6. For homework this week, you have your second discussion question, and you are going to be talking about abuse and neglect in that discussion question. And you're going to do your check your knowledge quiz, and then you have resource collection 6, part 3. So in this resource collection, you are going to be doing information on reporting child abuse and neglect. So for those of you who are in Colorado, you are going to be looking up the information for the Colorado Department of Human Services. For those of you out of state, you want to figure out who and where you would report child abuse and neglect to. Essentially, you'll fill out that form. All you need to put in the box is the address, phone number, website, and title of the place. And then I have provided the second piece for you. So you'll need to print that resources that says Colorado mandated reporters. For those of you that are out of state, you're going to want to find some information on what are your legal rights and responsibilities as a mandated reporter. So reach out if you have any questions. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks.